Okay, here, I might as well just call out my one first. And then...
You give them just 4 in a row, or you want to do it just top one?
Nah, we'll do 4 in a row. And then, like, I'll say my 4, you say your 4, and then we can all just, like, comment on it then afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have City, Chelsea, Liverpool, United.
I have Man City, Chelsea, Manchester United, and Liverpool.
Okay, so we've just got the 2 turned around. What about you?
City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United.
City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. You've got Liverpool second.
Yeah.
Alright, might as well ask you why do you think Liverpool will get second?
Well, I think we can all agree that with City that like, it's pretty hard not to see them win the league. Like I don't really see them not having a striker being that much of an issue since they basically didn't have much striker for most of last season either.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how much of a problem that's going to be for them. And I mean, Grealish is a pretty nice signing.
Grealish was a bit of a stupid signing though.
I mean,
I agree.
Depending on where not
Because
Bernardo Silva leaves.
It's like, don't get me wrong, I think Grealish is a great player and everything, but that's just the player that they didn't need.
Yeah, but is that the luxury they're able to afford to have? Like, if they can afford Grealish, they can have him. It's not as if they have this so much financial clout that a signing Grealish is like, sure, I might as well. It's a bit like you going to the shop and paying an extra euro at the front desk or something. But it's something they can afford to have.
I still think you do need a striker though.
Yeah, agreed. I think they should have gone out and got an
Like, I know they went on like a great winning streak, but for the start of the season, they were pretty fucking poor.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about, like, I still think they're gonna win it.
Yeah,
I think they'll win it comfortably.
Yeah.
But, like,
I don't know about comfortably. I think the rest of the league, at least the other teams around them, have.
Is the talk that they'll get Harry Kane for 150, isn't it? That's the talk or something.
That's the report.
Wouldn't you rather pay another 50 extra for Kane over Grealish?
Yeah, well, I think the situation was, according to Fabrizio Romano, that Daniel Levy is a known tough negotiator. I think talks weren't going great, so they decided to switch their attention to Grealish. Now, mind you, I thought they should have switched to a different out-and-out striker.
But
I wish they never.
They should have got Lukaku.
But with that,
yeah,
right. As soon as you find out, because when everyone was saying born, that Harry Kane was not turning up for training, surely that's the moment. So you're like, okay, hold on a second here.
We can twist our arm here.
There's still something here.
Yeah,
we could go in on this. You know,
yeah.
Because if their player's not turning up for training, then like, you can't really force them. I mean, you can, but you're not going to. You kind of have to start thinking we're gonna have to sell him.
It just seems a little bit crazy spending 100 million on another winger.
When a striker is what you needed.
When a striker is what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at Chelsea.
Especially when Aguero's gone. Like I know they did win it without a striker. Basically, they didn't win the Champions League without a striker.
Yeah, but yeah, they're very. I know people say they overthought the situation, but I thought they kind of undervalued Chelsea in that game. I thought.
Well, it was a bit weird that they decided to
no CDM,
yeah,
and even that not having a CDM actually did cost them, even if you even seen the goal.
I think CDM is like that position over the last few years where everyone says now it's like one of the most important positions on the team.
Well, I mean, look at some of the top teams in the Premier League. You know, like Liverpool have Fabinho and Chelsea have Kante. You know, Kante was having one of the seasons of his career last year.
Yeah, Kante looks quality.
Despite all the problems that Chelsea were having.
He could have another class season.
I think he will.
How old is he now? 29? 30?
He could be hitting 30 this season.
Yeah, but I feel like CDMs have that longevity, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like centre backs, goalkeepers. They don't need to expend themselves as much.
How old's Fabinho?
Like 27.
Yeah, he could have another couple of years in his tank.
He looks very old.
Matic felt like he was old though when he was like 20 something.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Everyone was saying it, but I don't know. I don't think he's at the same kind of level as those guys.
Fabinho, you don't think Fabinho is?
No, I don't think Matic is at the same kind of level as like a Fabinho and stuff like that. Oh, hey Jake, how's it going? Alright, so you have Liverpool second. So what do you have in second?
Well, there's a few reasons. One, well, fingers crossed they're not going to have, as many injury problems as they did, But I think it's mainly Klopp is the reason.
You just think because of Klopp they're going to get second?
Yeah, I just think Klopp's that good. I mean, look, like last season when Liverpool were supposed to be dead and buried in top 4 race, right? Everyone was just like, oh, it's City, it's United, it's Chelsea, it's Leicester, it's done. Well, it wasn't done. And we have to remember, we finished third last season. We finished above Chelsea. And that's a lot down to the Klopp and this whole mentality thing.
Okay.
Like, how many other teams in the league will have their goalkeeper coming up and scoring a 95th minute winner to keep him in top 4 race?
I don't know. This sounds like bias fan.
Yeah.
It's not even just that, but like...
It's not that, but it is that.
But it is a lot down to also injuries as well. Like,
I think, but when you look at last season,
but think about what other teams in finish top 4 we're gonna have all the defensive problems and all the midfield problems and half their front three just not scoring any goals and still get top 4.
there wasn't a single point during last season where I thought Liverpool looked great.
But how were you gonna look great? Like they didn't look great at the start of the season, but then
And they
like,
didn't look
you
great.
yeah.
I know they were and they scraped wins the whole way up until January.
Yeah,
and then
but hold on,
the wheels finally came off the fucking
hold on.
horse.
You have to remember, we were scraping wins when we won the fucking league. Like, how many games did we win 1-0 or 2-1 or something like that? Liverpool have long had the ability to just scrape wins.
But how long can they sustain that? That's not sustainable for top 4.
Of course it is.
That's what I'm thinking.
If they can, well, I mean, it's going the last 2 years, hasn't it?
I think
Yeah,
it's,
2-3 years.
I think it's sustainable for top 4, but I don't think it's sustainable. To
Which is
try
why I don't
get
have them win
second
top league.
or first.
I mean, why not? When you have United, who were basically for most of last season were a coin flip team, and you have Chelsea, who it's kind of hard to tell what they're going to be like. I think they'll probably improve, and honestly, it's probably not that far off between them finishing second and Liverpool.
But Chelsea,
honestly.
when you think about it, Chelsea got 4th with a team
Those
that
managed by Frank
wasn't,
Lampard.
and they had a very poor start this season, and they also had like their top goal scorer was like 6 goals or something.
Yeah, but I mean, Liverpool also had a really bad run of form where they lost 6 home games in a row.
Yeah, I know, but it to me it's just kind of like
But like, do you see something
now
like that
they've got
happening again?
Lukaku,
Yeah.
and they've got guys who can really swing in the ball. He's good. He's pretty good in the air. He's really good in the box and really dominant. That to me just looks like a recipe for goals. Like,
Yeah, I agree. That's why I have Chelsea in second.
yeah, like I just think they're coming off the back of winning the Champions League, and I think that kind of gives you a good kick up the arse.
But I actually want to give a statistic about the injury record that Connor was bringing up. So Liverpool had the 3rd most injuries out of any side, behind Leicester City in second.
Yeah, I thought that.
And number 1 was actually Crystal Palace. Believe it or not.
Yeah, that's.
So to say that the
But
only reason why we had a bad season is because we had injuries.
Does
But then
But
teams like Leicester
also,
City
does
and
that
Crystal
does
Palace.
that statistic take into account of how long those injuries were for,
longevity.
though?
Like, did Leicester, for example, have 3 season-ending injuries
Yeah,
of starting 11 players?
Well, Leicester did, I think, but
Yeah.
like
No, I mean, like, you had guys like Harvey Barnes, who only got injured, towards, like, January, maybe?
But they
then-
also
and
had
then-
Johnny Evans was out for a
James
big portion.
Maddison was out for a good bit of the season again.
James Justin.
Yeah, he had a season ending. Wesley Fofana's now injured.
Yeah.
And also on the other side, didn't Crystal Palace coming off like one of the lowest finishes they've had under Hodgson?
Yeah, but then
They still survived though.
Yeah.
they survived comfortably.
Well, I'm saying it's
But
had
like-
effects on them as well.
But like
Crystal Palace weren't anywhere near as that in the tough side to play against for a top 6 team as they usually are.
I think though I just think Chelsea just looked pretty good coming into the season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like I said, it is pretty.
I think
it
it's a
is pretty close
I think it's a
between-
coin toss between those two.
Yeah.
I think though, when you look at it, I think Liverpool have. I don't know.
I think
I think Liverpool maybe have the strongest first 11.
I
If
think-
every player, like if we take a scenario where every team's like first 11 is like at their strongest and they're all playing their best game that day, I think Liverpool's first 11 beats Chelsea's first 11 and
Yes.
City's first 11 and
You think
United's.
City's first 11?
I think it does.
I think it's yeah, probably.
I-
Yeah.
Because I don't think City's midfield like as good as. I just think up top, like Liverpool would win that game because of their front line playing better.
I think you.
But I think Firmino's past.
Well, I think
yeah.
even then you can even say like that's true based off the head-to-head over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, you take away City from the Etihad, and you have an atrocious record against Liverpool in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
But then they break it this season.
they win against Anfield, which is basically only done because and there was remember there was also that period of time where Alisson was doing his damn best to lose Liverpool every game he was playing in.
Mm.
You know, there was that, and that was a huge reason why they won that
I
game.
think it wasn't just that though.
I mean, it was a big reason. He did gift them 2 goals.
Liverpool were just awful.
They were.
Trent
But-
was coming into just bad form as well. That
Yeah, they were.
You're really the Liverpool version of me, Connor.
Well, yeah, but you don't have any the same reasons for why you did it bad. Like you had one of your main players injured, and that was it. You're done. You know, where Liverpool had not even just all the injury. You have to remember half the players that weren't injured were also in terrible form. If it wasn't for the fact that Salah is one of the best forwards of in the Premier League, having a great season again, we wouldn't even got Europe.
Can we move on to?
But I think that means like, by that logic, like I don't think they get second.
Well,
I'm
you
just
have to
worried.
assume-
I'm worried about I'm worried about Mane and Firmino, and they haven't bought
Well-
like a replacement for Firmino, which they should have done 2 years ago.
Well, I'm going into this season basically acting as if this is a clean slate. That they're not gonna carry over the form of last season, all the new injuries. It's the same for
I'm
for
worried-
every team.
I'm also worried that Van Dijk, he won't be the
Perform
same
as
guy as he used to be, just because it's such a dangerous injury that he got.
We'll see.
Move on to Man United because we talked about their
Yeah,
chances.
I think about United though. As good as I think everyone's overhyping just how good those signings are. Like I think Sancho's fantastic, and I think Varane is a good player as well. But I'm not too sure if that just instantly makes them a title contending team,
I don't think they're title. I
or
think
even going for second. Like
I could see them going for second, but I don't think. I think if it's second, it's a distant second. So I
I think it would be like potentially like last season where United end up being like 12, 13 points behind City in the end.
Yeah.
But I think like United are just. I don't think Ole is a good manager. I don't think he's good for them. And just like there's this, like I was saying, like United were such a coin flip team, and it wasn't even just, it was coin flip game to game. It was coin flip half to half. Like how many games last season were they absolute shite in the first half? The game should have been dead and buried. Should have been like 3-4-0 down at half time, only for them to come out in the second half and turn around and win it.
I think United have the worst starting 11 out of the top 4.
I don't think any. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's probably fair.
It's mainly because they're midfield.
Yeah.
I don't think their
agree.
midfield's strong enough still.
Because with the formation that he plays, where it's like the 4-2-3-1, where only Pogba and Fernandez are of any real use to you.
Mm.
And don't get me wrong, they're both pretty good.
He doesn't
But,
even seem to like
Like
Pogba.
when you have like Fred and Matic and McTominay as your other midfield option, when Donny van de Beek is right there on the bench, like, and he continues to play those three, like that's just bad managing.
Well, the fact that he was playing Pogba left mid is a little bit concerning because it means that like he trusts Pogba more out on the left than he does in the midfield, in the centre of the park. Like when he played Pogba against Liverpool, he played him out on the left and he played the midfield of Fred McTominay again.
Yeah.
But
Rashford's out as well with that injury for
Yeah.
the start of the season.
yeah,
Locked
that's a
over,
big
isn't
loss
it?
for them. But that being said, Cavani's still there, and I don't think any of us thought he would do as well as he did.
He
even just
kind
as
of
a
came
sub.
into it in the second half of the season.
He did very well for the minutes that he got and stuff, but I don't know if he'll get like plus. Would he get over 15 goals if he started every single game?
If you started,
He's
yeah,
not
I'd say
started every game though last season. Did he not?
No, he didn't.
And
No,
he is
but
that
But
35.
they did have Rashford though, and that was kind of a big reason for that, and Greenwood as well.
No, Sancho though as well. But is he going to be like their starting player? Would be starting every game, or would he be starting
Rashford's out,
Greenwood?
yes.
I think they'll start Cavani over Greenwood. Maybe they'll start Cavani for the bigger games. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I think the second Rashford's back fit, they were playing him instead.
I was so split between putting Liverpool fourth or United fourth.
and they have what's his name? Danilo. They're signing in January.
Yeah.
What?
Diallo.
Is that his name, Diallo?
I think like
Could he have a bigger influence on the team next season?
Unlikely. Not this season. Not next season.
I think African Cup of Nations will really fuck over Liverpool this season.
Yeah, that's why.
That
I
will
think
really
so.
fuck them over. And I think Firmino's so past it that I don't really trust him. His numbers were still pretty decent, but when you watch him play compared to when you watched him play in the season where they won Champions League, it's like a completely different player. Like his touch is all off. There's so many times where the ball's knocked into his feet and he'll just take a dodgy touch and it'll go away from him and stuff like that. When like Firmino the past, like
But I think they were all like that. There were a
Mane,
lot of bad touches.
I have more faith
That was just a
in
bad
coming
season.
back. Yeah. But I don't have the faith for Firmino.
But you're underestimating that there'll be fans back in the stadium next season. And Bobby always plays better when the fans are
What
singing
is the
peace and
situation with that? How much are they
love. There was like
Haven't
20,000 fans in the stadium for their pre-season friendlies.
really? Okay, so they probably have pretty good stadium
Yeah,
sizes.
that's all I'm I'd say.
That's fucking good. Because I can't watch another Premier League season with fans.
But I think that's enough on the top four. What about fifth place? Did everyone else put Leicester?
Yeah, I put Leicester fifth.
Did you put Leicester?
No, I actually didn't.
You
Who'd you
didn't?
put Leicester? Who'd you?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
That's a spicy one.
Yeah.
I love Okay, you know what? Let's. Why do you possibly think
Okay.
Arsenal are getting fifth?
Okay, so this is one of my kind of odd out there picks. Well, first of all, no Europe. That is going to be huge for them, right? Because they have that more time to rest before games. They have a decent squad depth. I think they could even get ahead of Liverpool, but they've signed Ben White, who I think is a really good centre back.
Overpaid.
Overpaid, but he's still very good.
I think he's fine.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit overhyped though.
They're definitely gonna sign some sort of new number 10. You know, whether it's gonna be
They
Martin
better.
Odegaard or James Madison.
They kind of need it. They
have-
won't get Madison.
No, neither do I. But I'm just saying they're gonna sign that sort of player.
Yeah, I think Buendia was their best shot.
Yeah.
And he snubbed them for Aston
Aston
Villa.
Villa. yeah.
Well, we'll move on to that a bit later. But I feel they have a decent squad this season. I feel like Europe, since Europe is not coming to the Emirates Stadium this season, they'll have just so much of a better season.
Do you think though that Arsenal have a better starting 11 than Spurs and Leicester?
Not Spurs. I think they kind of a little bit equal to Leicester, but I think.
Because I really don't think they have a better starting 11 than Leicester.
But what I'm thinking of is that they'll have a lot more free time to rest before games, and it'll be more important.
Like,
for,
who's going to be their midfield?
Party?
Who can't really stay fit?
Yeah, providing everyone's fit. Party,
You have to assume we're always going to just assume that everyone is fit.
like Conga maybe.
If you can't even decide what their midfield is right now,
Xhaka.
how can you put them
Like,
fifth? But he's not even going
is
to stay
Xhaka
there.
going to stay? Is there?
yeah, he's gonna say
It's looking like he probably will.
yeah,
And if he plays like he did for Switzerland against France,
yeah.
maybe there's something there. But
Xhaka cannot carry that
Uh,
midfield in the Premier League.
Then either Smith Rowe or new number 10.
I mean, it's not as good as Leicester though. Leicester have Tielemans, Ndidi, Madison, and then when
Yeah.
well, well, they
And
might
they'll,
not
and
have.
they'll have Harvey Barnes back as well.
and they'll also have Sumare coming in.
And Daka.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure about. The thing about Daka is that he's coming from the Austrian league, and I'm just not.
Hold on.
so-
I think it's fair that.
Hold on,
No,
haven't all your signs come from the French league?
No.
But no, I
You ran
think.
Sanson and Traore.
Yeah, but Traore
But
plays
I think the
in
French league is better than
Austrian
the
league.
Austrian
If you're
league.
not-
But
yeah,
you're
but
signing
I
players
think
that aren't from PSG.
I think though that like I just think Daka, like, if you're a player in any league and you're scoring like basically the same amount of goals per game, you're clearly like a good player.
Yeah, I mean, you have
Well,
to remember.
I think at least for this season he'll struggle a little bit.
I think he will maybe struggle to
Maybe
adapt.
not
I
necessarily.
think he'll have one. I think he'll be one of those players that need to adapt.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it could
that's-
take a while.
Hold
That's
on.
why I think.
I hope they
Hold
don't
on.
write him off straight away. as
Hold
well.
on. It's like saying, like, can you say that you were watching Daka in the Austrian league?
I didn't watch that in the Austrian league.
Yeah. Were you watching Haaland in the Austrian league?
No.
No. Yeah, I didn't think so.
But I still think those are kind of players who, like,
What I'm saying is, when the literal last player that came from that team, from the exact same position, left Salzburg to go to a top league, Haaland ended up scoring like 18 goals in like 15
I
matches.
think
or
a
something
lot
like
of
that.
I think a lot of strikers, for usually what's the case is, especially if they're coming up into a bigger league, it takes them a while to
Yeah.
adapt. And
Yeah.
I think
I
a
always
lot
think
of times, a lot of Premier League clubs are quick to write them off
Yeah.
before they even really give them a chance.
The difference between
Same
what-
with Haller, like when he was
the
at
difference
West Ham.
between Daka at Leicester and Haaland at Dortmund is that Haaland's basically going in straight away. Like Haaland went in straight away. He wasn't there to back up to anyone. He went in and he was basically slotted in right away.
Because he
Whereas Daka-
clearly was a class player because he was
But
scoring
Daka-
like crazy in Champions League.
I think he's still got a lot of potential. He's probably still going to be playing second fiddle to Vardy
Yeah,
for the season.
but I think that's a good thing for him.
Probably is, yeah.
But are we worried that the Jamie Vardy drop off is this year?
No,
Well, he did drop off a
me-
little bit last year.
He did drop off a little bit last
Well,
year.
in
He
terms-
drop off
No,
again.
in terms of actual goals scored, but he still created a lot.
He did create. He had a lot of
He had a lot of
assists.
assists.
He wasn't running as much though last season. I think forget his kind of.
Is it finally like Jamie Vardy's not going to score plus 10 this season?
James, you're the only person who's been really worried about the
Well, he's-
Vardy
he's-
drop off for the last 5 years.
Been saying it for years, and I think this is definitely
Well, he's
the
their
year.
penalty taker. You know, like you have to remember, like
Yeah,
he is like the like. Right, Ollie Watkins wasn't Aston Villa's penalty taker. We still got 13 goals. If he was the penalty taker, he could have gotten 5-6 more.
yeah.
So like you have to look at Vardy, like instead of just looking at goals, but where are the goals coming from?
Okay,
You know?
Vardy's very similar to Aubameyang. Do we think Aubameyang is going to have to drop? Like, is he
Well-
going to come back?
Well, the thing was, right, like, the Aubameyang drop off had to be almost like unprecedented with how bad it was.
Yeah.
Like, was this not a guy who,
Did he hit like
He
something like
won-
28 or something like that?
well, he'd won like the Golden Boot like a season or two beforehand.
Season before.
Like, and then, like, how many goals did he end up with last season? And it had to be like,
Last season, I think he
yeah.
got 11. I
Like,
think
that's-
he might have 11.
across the season or just in the league?
Just in the league.
Just in the league?
Yeah.
That's, like, and how many, a bunch of them were probably penalties as well.
Yeah, and I think the season before he might have got.
24.
And you have to remember,
Yeah, it was
right?
it was plus 20 anyway.
Yeah.
like, that wouldn't even be as bad. Except he was literally their only source of goals. There was not a single other player on the team who was consistently banging goals. Like, Lacazette, maybe, but even then, he wasn't that much. Like, Aubameyang was a huge amount of their goals.
When you compare the Aubameyang of last season to the Aubameyang who scored the winning goal in the FA
It's-
Cup
it's
final,
like-
it's very different.
The comparison was that. I remember seeing the statistics of it. Aubameyang was to Arsenal what Danny Ings was to Southampton.
Yeah,
And everyone was saying Southampton were a one-man team pretty much when it
Yeah.
came to, like, their goals. 'Cause
he had
they were.
22 goals that season.
Yeah. But Aubameyang was the exact same for Arsenal. And when you have that guy scoring like a third of the goals he was scoring the season beforehand, it's like, and no one else is picking this up the slack.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna do awful. And and you don't know what state Aubameyang's gonna be in coming in the next season.
It'd be interesting to see if Arteta will start him on the left again.
I don't know why you're moving him out of position to accommodate mediocrity that is Lacazette.
I think he wants Lacazette because I think the way football's going now, it's not about the pacey striker in behind. Unless you're a team that will like a smaller team that gets a lot of counter-attacking opportunities.
But the thing is, like, what is Lacazette supposed to be?
I think he's meant to be kind of like a link-up man more than anything.
So why are you playing him as your out-and-out man? Well, also not having him actually.
I think
game.
it's meant to be sort of like their version of Firmino, but with a bit more finishing.
But the problem is when you do that, but they're also playing with a cam. So why do you necessarily need him to be the link-up
I don't know, but that's
when
just
you
the way
could
he
just
is.
have a great target man in Aubameyang?
But I think the day of that kind of striker, the day of like the guy you can kind of get in behind with his pace is kind of gone now. I think it's all about the guy. He's a big guy in the box who bullies defenders.
Not
and stuff.
necessarily.
Look at
Haaland, I mean,
Lukaku.
Look at Haaland.
Lukaku,
Why?
Kane, but
Big
Lukaku, but Haaland's
Yeah,
like
but he's not-
big and
well,
strong,
yeah,
and he's
well,
good in
no,
the box.
like,
Most
you
of Haaland's
compare-
goals come in the box.
But you
Poaching.
compare to Haaland. He's nowhere near size wise to Lukaku.
Lukaku's just a beast.
Yeah, but no
Lukaku-
one's
no
like the
one's
same as Lukaku. But
Yeah,
like
Do you think-
Harry,
I think the only guy who's as big as Lukaku is that guy who plays for Wycombe Wanderers. Oh no,
you're
yeah,
thinking of Akinfenwa.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
big,
like
yeah.
there's Lukaku, Kane. Like Kane's a good poacher as well. Now I know last season he brought in like the whole play deep and like the passes out wide and stuff like that. But he's also just a great guy in the box. Haaland's a great guy in the box. Lewandowski's a great
But
guy
Haaland
in
can
the
also
box.
beat defenders with his pace.
Yeah, and like that's an
And so-
added
and so can
bonus.
Mbappe.
That's an
Mbappe is not a big man. He's not someone you want in the box scoring headers.
Yeah, I know. I think Mbappe is like an outlier, and same with Messi. But they're not like Messi's more out wide. Like, but I just think it looks more like now strikers are more link up men, and finishing in the box. Like I
Well-
think that's why City ended up just playing with
But
Gundogan
this
and
goes back
KDB
to my problem with
up top.
Arsenal. Is that Lacazette isn't great at link up, and he sure as shit ain't good at finishing either.
I
So
think
it just means it goes back. Why did they move Aubameyang out of position to play Lacazette?
yeah, it is a bit crazy, but I just think Arteta wants him to be that man.
I can understand that, but he's repeatedly shown over the last few seasons that he is not that.
I don't think he was that bad. I think he's fine.
He's
I
not-
think people are go a bit over the top. One thing that Arsenal have going for them right now is Pepe looked quality at the
Yeah.
back end of the last season.
But is he going to carry that into next season?
I just don't think Arsenal are fifth team.
No.
I just see that the
I think you're overestimating just how beneficial no Europe is going to be for them.
probably
You kind of did the same last year with Wolves. No, not Wolves.
Wolves
Everton.
and Wolves.
But
Was it the fact that both of them didn't have
I had them
Europe?
fifth and sixth.
Both of
last
them had
season.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
had
But it's like,
Everton didn't have Europe.
no, sorry, not Everton.
And he said like because they didn't have it, they get like 50.
It's like, yeah, they're not going to be less tired. You also have to remember, it's a less tired piece of shit. That's like it's still not a good team.
Okay, here we'll just jump on to like our 6th, 7th, 8th. Will we?
Yeah.
Okay, 6th I have Spurs, 7th I have Villa,
Oh.
and 8th I have Arsenal.
Okay.
I have Spurs in 6th, but I mean, like, I think they're really shaky
Mm-hmm.
because like
Defensively, they look
but it's
awful.
not even just that. It's like that team as a whole just seems like such an absolute shambles right now.
They look like a mess.
Like-
and there's that whole worry that Kane might be there and all this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's I kind of think don't want to put. I'm basically putting them 6th. I'm just assuming going into next season
They'll have Kane.
they'll just be as they are now, which is a fairly good team with a really strong attacking front, but it's poor defensively.
With a team, they have great players, and they should really be doing better, but they'll still underperform what they have, I think.
I have Spurs, Leicester, and Everton.
Everton.
You put
in
Everton up again.
over Villa.
Yeah.
So I have probably Villa.
Highest.
Who do you have 7th and 8th? Connor, you never said.
7th. Oh man, it's like there's it's kind of a bunch of those kind of like Mickey Mouse teams that could also be in there.
Like your options are basically Villa, Arsenal, Everton, Leeds, Wolves, maybe Brighton, maybe
No,
West
I don't
Ham.
know.
West
put-
Ham. Yeah, West Ham.
I'll put
I'll put
Tottenham 6th. I'll put West Ham 7th.
Oh,
I'll put Villa 8th.
Why you guys putting like teams higher than me? I have with Aston Villa.
You should be happy I'm even putting Villa top
Yeah.
half.
I know. I'm kind of surprised.
I think you're because Villa.
I think because Villa are the only team in or around there that have actually boosted their squad with actual good players.
I think Villa are winning this transfer window.
they
you
are.
see, you say no. Okay, right. I'll say-
You're putting way too much weight on
Well,
Grealish.
think about it, right?
no.
Like, look at the signings you've already made, right? You signed Leon Bailey, you signed Emiliano Buendia, and you signed Danny Ings.
Yeah.
Those are 3 really good players,
Yeah.
and 2 of them are already Premier League proven.
Yeah. Okay. But what I'm saying, I know Buendia is actually a very...
Buendia is
Buendia
insane.
is the Jack Grealish replacement.
Yeah.
Like,
You
he
literally
was gonna be,
took Norwich's Jack Grealish.
Yeah. Even though he was gonna be there anyways. There's no doubt in my mind that Buendia was not the Jack. He was gonna be the right side Jack Grealish player. But now he is the most like Jack Grealish in the league and probably in the world.
He's
I would
quality.
say. Yeah. But my thing is that we've signed a lot of players up front. That we'll be lucky to have 20 games out of Danny Ings sometimes.
But I don't think Danny Ings is going to be a starter.
Well, hold on.
I think
I
what
think
they
he'll
went
have
for,
Ali Watkins. up
I
there.
think what they went for in the last preseason game was a 4-4-2 with Ollie and Ings. And Bailey won't be fit for the start of the season. We're looking at a new CDM, and apparently they're not gonna go cheap on a CDM. They're gonna spend
Hopefully
big.
But we
they
can't-
don't.
We're not basing this off of who you might sign. We're basing this off
No,
of who
but
you
I
might
think
sign.
you
I
kind of
think you
have to
have to.
think about that.
Well, yeah,
because
but they also have they have a bunch of like mediocre midfield players right now at this point. Like,
who would you
there's a
consider
bunch-
mediocre?
I think John McGinn's quality. But I think after that, I don't think he's
Like,
have great
what other
midfielders.
midfielders do you have?
We have Louise, Nakamba.
The camp is like what, 18, 19?
Nakamba's like 27, 28.
Are you sure? I don't.
I
think-
don't
He
think
just
he's,
looks 12.
He just, yeah. Well, I don't.
Like,
There's a lot of midfielders.
you know,
I think
he's-
if you
his
get a
name's
CDM.
marvelous, but he's mediocre is
If-
probably the best
If
thing.
Villa get a quality CDM,
Yeah.
I genuinely think they're like
But who?
they're like the next Leicester. I
Well, we're
think.
looking at Aston's actually very quiet. You know, you've heard about they're very, very quiet about their transfer dealings.
Yeah,
So you don't know if
Sanson.
Danny
You have Sanson.
Sans, yeah.
I don't know if he's going to play
You
him.
probably don't play him much.
They have, but anyways, I think looking at Czech Decore, James Ward-Prowse. But that's the names being linked.
Jeez, Southampton would be really fucked if they
Yeah.
lost James Ward-Prowse.
But
Would you
Jesus
would you put
Christ.
them towards relegation?
I think,
I mean, they're losing Vestergaard as well.
yeah.
But we'll get to
Actually,
Southampton in a
Yeah,
bit.
they lost it Leicester. Yeah.
We get to them in a bit.
Wow.
Aston Villa.
No, Southampton.
I think we have McGinn. We don't really have a backup for McGinn at number 8 role. Maybe Jacob Ramsey. I think he's okay. I don't think he's.
Like if you're bringing in youth players to
Top
try and
quality.
boost your midfield, then
Yeah,
your
but he
midfield's
played.
not
He
good.
played like 20 games last season. Ramsey.
I think he's just need if he's got one quality CDM.
Yeah.
That Villa side it looks terrifying.
Morgan Sanson. Carney. He'll be in the season. He'll be in the squad next season.
Barkley, was he on loan?
Yeah.
You don't know.
He's
Where is
not-
Barkley anymore? Is he still at Chelsea?
Yeah, he's at Chelsea.
My only concern is you don't really have another winger.
Yeah, that's what. But they have.
Like
legit-
I guess like they could play
Or they could.
Buendia on the right, but I feel like he's a lot more dangerous in the middle.
They could.
I think he'll affect the game more there.
They could sign like a new. Looking at Joaquim Correa, there's been links with Damsgaard, Ishmael Assar. There's been links.
Could you imagine they got Damsgaard?
I
That would be
don't-
quality.
I just think he's one of those players who have just had a very good Euros. Because that happens. Like we watch the Euros. He's,
I
he's
know,
quality.
but
That's what has me a bit scared of getting Damsgaard.
yeah, that's fair. But I've just like looking at that guy's touch. The first time I saw him play for Denmark, I was just like, Jesus, this guy's got like, there's something about him. You know, like when you see a guy who plays football
Yeah.
and they've got the ball at their feet and they're just doing something with it. You're just kind of like, wow,
Chiesa.
this guy's like a quality footballer, like, you know.
Yeah, I think. But I just like, do you not see the way like the Sampdoria CEO basically twerking for any team that comes in from? Do you hear what he said about Roma? If you're looking to do a deal for Damsgaard, come talk to me. He said that publicly.
Yeah,
So I just think.
but I think also Italian clubs right now aren't in a good financial situation.
But
anyway.
no club is in a good. No. Oh, my mother's calling me actually.
Yeah,
Right now.
I can always just edit it out as well.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, here, look. Who did you have? Sorry, who did you have 7th again?
Me?
Andy, yeah.
That's it.
Okay, yeah. Why do you think that'd be below?
I just can't see Leicester getting 5th 3 years in a row. That was apparent. They can't just see the same team getting the same position 3 years in a row. It's obviously very, very possible.
Fofana injury as well.
Yeah, Fofana. Evans is a year older.
Older, yeah.
They're getting Vestergaard, but like
Good
he's a-
backup.
good backup, but he's gonna be a star for the season, I'd say.
Very good backup, I think.
Yeah.
But when do you have Solanke back?
Yeah. He's fine.
I mean, he did pretty well in his debut season.
Yeah.
I think Samora is just gonna be a backup for the moment. At least,
Yeah,
until Ndidi.
Oh yeah, definitely. But they've definitely got like enough talent. I think
Yeah.
they've definitely got the.
They have Ricardo Pereira back.
I
as well.
definitely think they have the 5th best starting now.
Yeah, like, see, with a lot of these prediction tables, I think you can change teams around
Yeah.
almost. Like it's like you're like there's points. There might be points or goal differences between some of these.
Yeah,
teams.
I mean,
It's
like
not
6 weeks into the season, and we could all just change our tables like that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Spurs?
Okay, so like Spurs are just such a dodgy team because honestly, you could put them like I put them 6th,
Yeah,
but you
same
could
here.
also put them like 16th. Honestly, like it's just so they're such a mess. Like they're by far out and out their best player is once out. Like, he doesn't want to be there. He wants to go to City, or even United. He wants to leave, right? Because he didn't see anything going on there in Tottenham, right? And it's not hard to see why. Like they're going through managers. Like they're nothing now at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know entirely how. I don't know how much faith you can put in Nuno
I don't really rate him.
in charge of Tottenham. Like he was really good at Wolves, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be really good at Tottenham.
I don't rate him too
Like
highly.
their midfield is an absolute fucking mess. No, like they just don't seem to figure out. Like Højbjerg is fantastic.
Mhm.
Don't think, and you're right about that, Anthony. But
Actually, so there's been an update with the Harry Kane situation.
What?
So this is according to Fabrizio Romano. Man City board are now preparing a new €150 million bid to select the Spurs.
alright, so I put Tottenham in 17th. Well, we can't. I can't do that right now based off of like what they're saying. I just base off like what's the current situation is right now, and that is that he's a Tottenham player. But like their midfield is an absolute mess, and they can't actually seem to figure out who they want to be in their midfield other than Højbjerg. And then you get to their defense.
They've
and
got
their
so
defense is
much
just bad.
quality midfielders.
But you don't seem to want to make up their mind about who they want to play.
Yeah.
And when you're constantly chopping and changing what your midfield is, it has such a dynamic effect on everyone else in your team.
Well, I'm hoping that Nuno does come in and he decides on what his midfield is going to look like.
But we don't know that.
Because Ndombele is quality,
Mhm.
Lo Celso is clearly quality,
Mm-hmm.
and Dele Alli,
He is quality. It's
he's
just,
class. I think he's unreal.
You know
but the
what?
problem is like, I
I
don't
think
know.
his commitment isn't there sometimes. Though.
I think he'd be up for
Like,
it now that, his absence was there
Well,
for
you
that
know.
season.
Well, I think.
I think Jose was way too harsh on him.
But I think with Dele Alli, right? I think personally, like the part, like his what do I say? His ethics. See, like he plays a lot of Fortnite. And according to Jose Mourinho, players to be sitting up in hotel rooms playing it all night, and his girlfriend broke up with him because of him playing too much Fortnite. Don't know if you've heard about that one,
What?
but
What?
Are you basing Tottenham's season off of how much Fortnite their players are
well,
playing?
we all put Tottenham 6th.
But I'm
But,
saying, did you put them there specifically because
no, I'm saying specifically Dele Alli. I think he's too. I think I watched in the document. I watched a little bit of documentary. The all in
Oh,
One.
no, yeah.
I think Dele Alli's the laziest in training. He was. I think he's a very, very good player, but I think he's not in the right frame of mind sometimes.
Yeah.
Now,
Maybe
this season he cops a bit on.
I think he will. But, okay,
Who knows?
the reason why I had Spurs, I'm even nervous to put them 6th, is because their defence is so fucking awful.
And he signed Romero.
I think that's a good signing, but
can is Romero the one who's gonna fix that defense?
I think Rodon's okay as well. But I don't think like a Rodon or potentially Eric Dyer and Romero is enough.
Not a chance. Not a chance. If Eric Dyer is like still one of your starting centre backs going to the next season,
Or
like that's
Davinson
bad.
Sanchez, like
And then who else? Like they have Reguilon, who's more well known for going forward than he is at the back.
going back.
And then who else is there?
Doherty, I guess if they want
Doherty,
Doherty had a
Doherty
crap
and
season.
Yeah,
And
but
I don't think he was given
Serge
much of
Aurier,
a, he wasn't given much of a chance under Jose as well.
and then Serge Aurier,
Yeah.
who, let's all face it, is not good.
It's hard to judge Spurs as well because how much of it was Jose and how much of it is that squad?
Yeah.
Because I
I
knew as soon as Jose was announced, we all said, that's fucking awful.
Yeah, because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot. I think a lot of the problems in with the morale of the squad you can blame on Jose,
Yeah.
but you also cannot take blame it all on him because that squad is just awful.
Alderweireld's gone now. Fucked off to the Saudi Arabian League, I think it was.
Yeah,
for
so did
14 million.
Matthias Pereira, which is, I think Lucas Moore had an offer as well to go.
Damn.
It's like that squad is just a mess. But I think the only reason I didn't put them as high up as they are is literally just down to how good Song and Kane are.
Yeah.
Like that's literally it.
They're quality.
Yeah.
Like those two
I'm
had.
kind of worried that they mightn't be able to produce it again.
I mean,
It would have
they
been
will.
good. It would have been good if they kept Hunter Bale as well.
I think Bale had a great season last. I think he had a few purple patches.
But I think the problem was because he wasn't getting any game time under Jose.
Yeah.
But for the times he did, like he still
But
hit.
then his wages are a bit too
I think
high.
he
so-
still got 9 goals. Like,
Yeah.
didn't he?
His wages are a bit too high though, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it was also just because they got Brian Gill in. Depends on how good
Oh,
that
yeah, I
guy
forgot
is.
the
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we
See-
obviously don't know how good he's gonna be, but
Yeah.
I can't base the entire season off of how good he could be when I don't have much knowledge of him.
If that trade works pretty well though, like you just have to hope that they're good enough going forward, because I can't see them being good enough defensively.
Yeah, but that's literally what Tottenham's been like the last few seasons.
And they're actually looking at.
And it's like if you had a better team, if you had a better back five behind Højbjerg, like Højbjerg is good enough to carry your midfield for you.
I think they're like a Villa with a better midfield and much better
Man,
firepower.
it's like can you imagine Aston Villa's team if they had Højbjerg instead?
Yeah.
Like that's a team that's challenging for Europe right there.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, no, because I genuinely think Højbjerg. Like you look at any of the important metrics for a CDM in the Premier League last season, Højbjerg's got to be top 3 in nearly all of them.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Like
No wonder he had that little weird thing from.
Because I knew, I was looking at his numbers and he's off the charts.
he has to be near top 3 in nearly every metric that matters for him.
Okay, will we go 9th and 10th?
So I have Aston Villa
9th.
and Leeds.
I've Leeds 10th as well.
Yeah, I think I would put like Everton and Leeds.
I have Everton 9th and Leeds
So I
10th.
have Villa 9 and Leeds 10.
Where did you have Everton again?
8. You know, I
8's pretty high for Everton.
I feel like they're going to play a bit more. I think they're going to play a bit more conservative football next season.
Do we not
I
take that
think they
bottle?
I think Dominic Calvert even probably benefit Dominic Calvert a little bit more.
Yeah,
think-
maybe.
I think
That style of play.
Rafa's systems work better when he's got a good striker to do it
And he
to
has
work the
Moise
system
yeah.
with.
back again, and he wasn't given his fair dues in his first season.
Yeah, definitely.
They haven't made any good signings. Not one.
No.
Damari Gray,
Tamari Gray,
Andros
Townsend, yeah.
Yeah.
and then Asmir Begovic as a backup.
Begovic was the
Yeah.
goalkeeper, yeah.
Like-
Jesus.
Those are bad signings, but they're bad signings. But also, like that starting 11 is still like pretty good.
We've been talking for ages, though, that they needed wide men, and the reason why I said they do poorly last season is because they don't have good wingers. And they've brought in wingers, but they brought in shit wingers.
See,
But
the
they
prob-
can't afford to bring in. They have FFP on them.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
but like the thing is, how can you expect Rafa to somehow improve with his team when Carlo Ancelotti couldn't?
Yeah. Well, I think Rafa, I just feel like he's
I
going to
like
do a
Rafa,
job.
But is Rafa a better manager than Carlo Ancelotti? You'd have
He
to say
play-
no.
he play-
Maybe
he
for
might-
Premier
he might
League,
bene-
maybe.
He might benefit.
He did wonders with Newcastle.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah,
that's
but
the
Newcastle weren't exactly
might
doing great.
benefit Everton
Wondering.
more, and that's where I think it's gonna happen.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
We have to remember, like, we signed all these players, but
What about
their
Right,
their number 10 leaves. We don't know what's gonna happen with him.
and we don't
Michelle
know about
Lee's been
Sigurdsson
named.
as well.
but it's like
That was the number.
Yeah.
Our number 10 leaves.
You can't name him
Our
Why
number
can't you
10
name?
because you can't confirm it's him.
And our number 10 leaves for 100 million. Darius leaves because he's a nonce. Levels.
But it's like, but I was saying, right? Like, I
Well,
think,
James Rodriguez is their number 10.
Well,
yeah, but Rafa's told him to leave.
Is he gonna leave?
I don't know, but like the rumors are that he told him.
Has
to
there been a
leave.
big bust up in training with him?
Apparently, yeah.
Jesus.
hold on. I think
It's a
Calvert
fucking
Lewin
disaster.
is probably the best striker that Benitez has had in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like
Considering
the kind of system-
Newcastle had no.
Like,
We had Rondon.
Like, they had Rondon. But like,
Yeah.
Rondon was fine. Like, he wasn't great, but he
He
was
was
fine.
okay.
But what happened what happened when he was gone? You guys fell apart completely.
Yeah.
Like, they were a decent, like, mid-table team, and they dropped down, like, they were batting like relegation.
They still did enough though.
Yeah, they didn't know. But I'm saying, Calvert-Lewin is a much better striker than your Solomon Rondon and your Joe Lintons. You know the other like, mediocre strikers that, like... But I don't know, Joe Linton probably wasn't there when Benitez was there, but...
No.
You know what I mean? Like, Calvert-Lewin is a much better striker than what Benitez had before, and I think that will benefit him
Yeah.
a lot more. Especially when you have guys like Luka Dean, who is one of the best left backs in the league,
He is quality.
and he's one of the best crossers
Is
of the ball
Coleman
in the
still
league.
going to be their starting right back though?
Who else could they say? Who else do they have for right back?
We're looking at them, Denzel Dumfries, but they can't afford to sign him.
I mean, that'd be a good signing for them, but
But they don't think they'll afford it. They literally cannot.
Bertrand went to
Understand.
Leicester, didn't he? Not Everton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so the
So I'm assuming it's Coleman, because I don't know who else they have. I don't know who else
Yeah.
they have that will be playing. But even like literally, you could literally just like, have your entire attack focus on the left side. Because I think Luke Dean is just that good.
I'm
Yeah.
still even considering now maybe even dropping Everton to 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also remember they still have a lot of good midfielders. Like I know they kind of midfield kind of fell off like towards the middle of the season,
Yeah, but so-
but kind of like
so-
Everton in general.
They
though.
Dominic as well. He
Yeah.
fell off too.
But you still have to remember they still have guys like Alan and they still have Decore.
Their
No.
best way of scoring goals is just a ball from Lucas Digne into the box to Calvert-Lewin.
Oh yeah, but like that's the Benitez way really.
Digne
Set
is
pieces,
like
yeah.
Leighton Baines 2.0.
Yeah.
Worst free
But
kicks.
especially when you have guys like Yerry Mina and
Yeah.
what can I remember his name? Who's your centre back?
Michael Keane.
Michael Keane. Yeah.
What about Ben Godfrey?
Oh yeah, he was pretty good.
He had a great last. He was
But-
great last season. I thought.
Yeah.
But it's like those guys, those are like three very solid players. Mina, Keane, and Calvert-Lewin. Those are three very good players to be aiming at with it from a Lucas Dean free kick.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you kind of want to do. It's all these set piece style plays that they're going to benefit from.
What about Leeds? What do you think about Leeds?
Man, these are a bit of a weird one, aren't they?
They've always been a mixed bag.
They're
I don't.
they're even more of a coin flip team than United are.
The reason why I put Everton ahead of Leeds was just because I don't think Bamford's gonna do it again.
No.
I just
what
have
is
to-
what is your problem with English strikers and not thinking they can maintain any form?
I just don't think they're gonna. He's just gonna do it. I just don't think Bamford's gonna do it again.
Yeah, but you didn't think you were going to do it in the first place.
I think Rodrigo's gonna have a better season this.
Yeah,
I think Rodrigo's a bag of shite.
Rafinha is pretty good as well.
I think Rafinha's quality.
Yeah. I think he's their best. He's
I
their
think they're
best
losing-
player.
I think them losing Alioski's a big hit.
But he didn't lose him.
They just
didn't
got
want
rid
to
of
sign
him.
him.
Yeah. Well, he just didn't want any time. But he's still gone. He's just not there.
Yeah, but it's not as if it's not
Did
as
they
if
get anyone?
Yeah, they got a man from Barcelona.
Yeah, they got what's his Firpo?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but
That's a pretty decent
That's
signing.
decent, yeah.
yeah, but there's a reason why he's going to Leeds for 15 million.
Yeah, because Barcelona desperately wanted him to keep Messi,
Yeah. But,
which didn't work.
I just think they'll get 10 million just because Bielsa ball, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't underestimate like Bielsa. Like he knows what he's doing.
but do you think? I think you could do a Chris Wilder next season where it's like teams figure out how you play. They can he realistically do the exact same thing again?
I
Well,
think though.
There's a difference. There's a difference between what Leeds were doing and what Sheffield were doing. Like Leeds
Well,
are just all like you can't. There's no counterplay to. Oh shit! They're actually going out and
I think
playing. us. What the-
Sheffield also got unlucky with injuries
Yeah.
as well.
Like there's no like you don't. That's not something like you just figure out. You know, it's not like they're unpredictable. You know, they can like unlike with Liverpool, and kind of a lot like teams realize like, wait a minute, a lot of their attacks come from their fullbacks. So let's just try and close them down, try and box them out, stop them from doing it. That's to stop Liverpool's attack. But with Leeds, it's kind of just like, well, fuck, anyone can get us.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the best moments of that was, I remember from last season, there was Newcastle versus Leeds.
Yeah.
And Newcastle were attacking, right? And they must have desperately needed the goal. And they get counter-attacked. And there's only one Newcastle player left. And there's a solid, like, 5 Leeds players who were all on the other side of where the ball was, who could have all easily tapped in the ball.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, there's not a single player in that Leeds team who you think, shit, they could score on us. You know?
No.
Like, that's just how it is with them. You know? There's no figuring that out.
Leeds to me look like they're more like it's not really about like the individuals, it's more about the sum of their parts.
But also, didn't they signed your man Jack Harrison, though, didn't they?
Yeah, but
That's a good signing for
He's
them.
pretty good, yeah.
yeah.
What about
Can I actually bring on back to Aston Villa just for a
Oh
second?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
go on.
We never really had.
Oh yeah,
it's
the
all
Villa
more
fan was
just
talking about
me.
Villa. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So.
Where'd
well,
you have them now?
I still have 9. Well, place in 9.
Ninth, yeah.
I say I don't want to like.
You have Everton above them.
Yeah.
I
I just
don't know about
I don't
that.
know.
now.
I just think Jack was so essential to us last season, right? And then we're going to change our style of play. We're going to have Ings, who might be injury prone. We're going to have Leon Bailey, who might have a bad start to the season. But I think Buendia's going to come in and going to be shining light in the team, don't get me wrong. But those players are going to do a bit worse. It's going to be hard going at the start of the season, I think, for us. Despite us having actually pretty easy games at the start.
Yeah.
Watford, Newcastle and Brentford all in. So that should be 9 points, but can it? I don't know.
You can never go with that in the Premier League. Anyone any day can beat.
Yeah, that's
someone.
what I'm thinking. So
There are no easy games, pretty much, is what I'm saying.
yeah, I just think
I think you can say that this season.
yeah.
Okay, but let's not bully Norwich, right?
Yeah.
Give Norwich a chance. But even then, like even when Norwich came up, they beat City.
Yeah.
Like there's always a chance.
But I just think this season there's some real dog shite. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think like your teams like your Brentfords and your Norwiches and your Watfords, like I feel those three as collective just feel worse than the 3 teams that came up last season.
which is pretty impressive because the 3 teams that came up
Yeah,
last
like,
season were pretty shite.
it was Fulham,
Yeah.
Leeds.
Well,
were
Leeds
pretty
weren't, but
good. And who was the other one?
it was West Brom.
Yeah,
Fulham.
West Brom.
West Brom, Fulham.
Who were so desperate they sacked their good manager halfway through the season and brought in Sam Allardyce.
Well, I think Sam
The
Allen's
number
not-
one move for a desperate small club.
Yeah. What's your guys' opinions on Aston Villa? You guys never really.
This
Like we were
because
saying,
of their
I already said
recruitment.
it.
Yeah.
If Aston Villa had a Højbjerg type player or like someone of similar quality to Højbjerg, I think they'd be challenging for Europe.
Yeah.
Like I'd put them outside of a European spot this season, but if they had a good CDM, who could you could actually solidly rely on. See, I think McGinn in that kind of position is not like McTominay, where he's not actually good there, but he scores you goals.
I think if they
That's
get,
not what he's there for.
they kind of need another winger. I feel.
Like I think Europa.
Yeah.
I think they had a good midfielder.
I think once they start El Ghazi, they might consider it because I don't see them going into the season with.
I don't rate El Ghazi.
No, he's a match winner though. That's really I think
I think
next
that's a bit-
season.
I think that's a bit far.
No, I think he won like lots of points.
I know he
one-
did.
Yeah.
I know he did, but I just don't think he'll
Yeah.
replicate that.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
No, neither do I. But I think Dean Smith's trust in Philogene Badace this season more than because we do have a really good academy too. We do have a really good academy. They've invested
I'll
a lot
take
of
your
money
word for
into
it.
They've invested a lot of money into it. They just won the FA Youth Cup,
Yeah,
and like I don't know if you watched. I watched the game.
and you dominated.
We dominated Liverpool.
Yeah.
Dominated. That was a simple word. But I think Carney's going to have a bit more role. Philogene's going to have a bit more role. Still need another left winger. CDM. And that's really it.
Might as well say the next 5 here.
Yeah.
So 11th, I have Brighton. 12th, I have Wolves. 13th, West Ham. 14th, Palace. 15th, Newcastle.
Okay, that was very similar to mine actually. Very,
Really?
That was so similar.
I'm surprised now that you have West Ham What
Oh,
about
Oh
you?
yeah, like,
I'll tell you
No
what
one's
I
even
have.
thinking
It
about
was-
me
it
putting
wasn't-
West Ham 6th.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
perfect.
that's crazy.
It wasn't perfect, right?
No, you had Spurs.
Wolves. I had.
Sorry, West Ham 7th.
I had Wolves,
Huh.
Brighton, West Ham, and Crystal Palace 14.
Wolves, Brighton, West Ham.
Crystal Palace and then Newcastle.
See, yeah, me and you both have West Ham very low.
West Ham, Crystal Palace, and Newcastle in the exact
I
same
think
position.
we're both thinking along the same lines that West Ham, like usual, will have a decent season and then a shite season,
Yeah.
a decent season and then an absolute shite season,
Yeah.
and they'll always underperform.
I think
They'll
that-
never build on what they have.
Yeah. They lost Lingard. They're not really making any signings at all.
No,
Are they getting a striker? Is that ever going to happen?
I don't think they will, and I don't rate Antonio.
Yeah, he's injury prone as well. Like
Yeah,
he's not. He's like the Samata of West Ham.
I'm
and
so
he's injury
glad that Liverpool aren't linked with Jared Bowen anymore right now.
Yeah, but like we're saying being thrown out. There's like loads of names being thrown around with us.
Yeah, I think that's just a load of
But if you look
desperate
at
Liverpool
nobody-
fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't believe any rumour that comes out about Liverpool right now.
Prone. Let's come from Romano.
You fucking suck that guy's dick.
We all suck his dick. We all suck. Every football fan sucks his dick.
I think Brighton, I have them in 11th.
But you really like Graham Potter though.
I really like Graham Potter, but I think
Would you
I-
rather him go to Tottenham than Nuno?
their XG was extremely high, and because Neil Mopai was fucking missing all those chances.
Yeah.
But if they had someone,
I think
they just score.
I
They
think
just
Brighton-
finish.
Brighton are an actual good striker away from finishing top half.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But it
Ben White is a bit of a loss.
But what if they lose? I don't think they're going to lose Bassoon, but this season,
No, I don't
You're
think
wrong.
they will.
I think we could get him. I think realistically, we're the only club that can come in from.
I think you're
I don't
the
think
team.
you're the only
I think
club.
you're the only club who would
Will
want to
it?
go in from at this point.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like we're the only who can, but like,
You're the only team who can afford a 40 million CDM.
I think we can, yeah. We're
Um,
gonna afford,
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I think we'll sign someone else. But
I just
you
think
know, I
Brighton,
do want them. But
Brighton play really good football.
yeah,
I'm not. I just I really do like Graham Potter. Wolves will drop down to. Wolves will be in 12th for me because they just.
well,
don't think they have a good enough team.
I put Wolves 11th.
Okay.
yeah,
I think Brighton probably a solid 12th.
yeah.
I think if they actually had a deep better striker, I probably push them up towards that kind of 10th, 9th spot.
Yeah.
I think Palace would be 14th. I think I would put
Which 13?
God.
You have to skip over 14.
Yeah, no, you guys mentioned Palace a bit, so I kind of
I don't remember you having. You still haven't put down Arsenal, have you?
put them 8.
You put them 8th.
Again,
did
I kind of
you-
put them outside of the European.
Where did
spots
you
again.
put Villa?
Hmm?
Where did you have Villa?
8, I think.
No, sorry, hold on.
Because 7th you said you had West
Sorry,
Ham.
Which I don't know how you taught West Ham again. But
Leicester,
that was.
Tottenham.
Are you just balling this?
Yeah, I kind of didn't put as much. See, it's kind of hard to remember because I didn't write it down this time.
Yeah.
Leicester 5th, Tottenham 6th. I think West Ham 7th. That's what it was. Oh no, actually that's right. I actually didn't put Arsenal
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah,
Because
you
I thought
did.
they're that bad.
Yeah.
So it was like West Ham 7th. I think I put Villa 8.
I think you're a bit mad having
Leeds.
Arsenal at the top.
Do you want to write it down?
Yeah, do you want to write down somewhere?
No, I didn't really find the point, but like I just don't think. I put Arsenal 9th, Leeds 10th, Everton 11th,
Okay.
and then Brighton,
You're leaving out Wolves.
Brighton, Wolves, and then Palace. So move like every
Okay,
all team
okay.
that had back down one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'd have. Okay, so that would mean Palace is in 15th for you.
We think it's solid enough.
Who's in 14th?
Wait, Palace would be 14th then, wouldn't it?
Sorry, Palace would be 14th. Yeah,
But then who's 15th?
Burnley.
Okay.
Okay, Burnley. I have them in 16th.
Like Burnley, I don't think. I think you're always treading dangerous water.
Oh, I have
Burnley,
7
Everton,
for
ever
17.
above
Sorry?
17.
I have him 17.
I
You
think
had them there last season, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Chris Wood scored over what he probably should have.
He always does, though.
And I think a lot of that team they're relying on their defense. I don't think they'll get many wins. I think they'll scrape a lot of draws.
That's literally their plan every season.
Yeah. I mean, they signed Nathan Collins.
I feel really fucking sorry for Sean Dyche
Yeah.
because the shit that he has to work with.
But his contract's up this season.
Yeah, he should probably leave after that.
No, like I think any other team who will sign him, well, I think if he leaves, he'll go to a kind of another threatened club, a bit like Sam Allardyce.
Mm.
I don't see him getting like a job at Villa. Maybe go with West Ham. But I could see him going to Newcastle, Watford, Palace.
What do you guys think of Newcastle? Because a lot of people seem to be saying that Newcastle are fucked. But I don't think they're as fucked as people say they are.
I think
They're as fucked as they usually are.
I think they'll do another.
the only reason why they were even like, for instance, goals they walk were was because Joe Willock somehow like pulled out of his fucking
Purple
arse,
patch, yeah.
Yeah.
fucking scoring 6 games
And
in
he's
a row.
coming back.
Is he going back?
Yeah, 25 million.
Is that confirmed?
That's a
Sky
big.
that-
Sports.
They are way overpaying that. If that's the case,
But I think it's one of these morale boosters for the club.
I think that's just a fucking like.
I
Wouldn't
think,
he be their highest? No, I think that's Julian.
Well, yeah, 40 million. But apparently he wasn't even that good to be 40 million, Joe Linton.
No, he wasn't.
No,
Probably.
he's not even close to it.
No, but like even
Before he came,
yeah, he wasn't. I think the recruitment.
they
team
are
was
so
built with
lucky they have Callum Wilson.
Yeah.
They'd
Yeah.
be
Aston
fucked.
Villa
without
Do
him.
you, think, do you think he'll fall off as well, James? Do you?
No,
He's injury prone as well. Though.
he is an injury prone, but I think
That's
he's a
a worry.
quality striker. There's no way he should be playing for them.
Dwight Gale. He's not great. Who
No,
else?
they have real shite in their team, but I don't think they're significantly worse than they were last season.
There's a lot of shit below them.
Yeah, that's my only thing. Like, I just think there's shitter teams than them.
Yeah.
That's
like-
my logic behind it.
See, you want to talk about the bottom 5?
Let's talk about who we have in relegation. So my bottom 3.
Yeah, go on.
We have, oh yeah.
I know, like, there's the sum that we have in the middle.
We have,
We'll talk- I
we have
mean,
16,
I
17.
think Southampton are an interesting.
Yeah, I
thing to
know.
talk about.
I'll say that as well. So I have Burnley 16th,
Mhm.
Norwich 17th, and then my bottom 3. I have Southampton 18th.
Mhm.
I have Brentford 19th and Watford 20th.
Yeah.
What about you, Andy?
I have Watford 16th, Burnley 17th, Southampton 18th, Norwich 19th, and Brentford 20.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like to, favour the underdog and say that at least one championship team will stay up.
Yeah.
But for me, 17th,
What is your 16th?
16th is I'm miscounting how many the spots in the
You're
Premier League
forgetting
twice.
about Newcastle.
No,
man.
no. It's just I don't know why, but I had in my head for something that 18 was enough to stay in the Premier League for some
Yeah.
reason. No, so 16 Newcastle, 17 Southampton, 18th Norwich, 19th Brentford, 20th Watford.
Yeah.
I just don't think any of those teams coming up are any good enough to stay in the Premier League, especially not Norwich after they had off Buendia.
After
They've
losing,
actually made a lot of signings though.
but they
Yeah, like
the
Simon
loan for
Sargent.
the loan
So I actually seen a bit of him. I thought he was actually
Yeah,
alright.
his numbers aren't good though.
No.
the
he's,
loan move of what's his name? Scottish lad again.
Gilmore.
Gilmore is pretty decent.
Yeah, it is, but he's not going to replace those numbers that Buendia had for you.
He's not really that sort of player.
No, but he's not going to fill that midfield gap that you just that they've made. Not even gap, that
They've-
midfield
they've
crater.
Lost, they've
you
lost
just had.
Oliver Skip. He was an important player for them last season as well. You can't forget that. They've basically brought in a new attack line. They got Rashika.
Yeah.
They've
They've got so many strikers.
Yeah.
They have. They have quite a lot. Sorry, Watford have the most actually.
Well, I think
Watford have an insane amount for it.
I think Rashika can play on the left as well though.
But the question is, do you
So
think
where's
this?
Todd Campbell play? He played on the left.
It's like, do you think this Norwich team is better than the one they had last time they were here?
No.
So why would you think
But
they'll
they
stay up this time?
have
Why
a
would
bit
anyone think
more
they'll stay up this time?
consistent. They have a bit more. I'd say they're
I think they'll scrape up because
shit below
I
them.
just think Brentford and Watford are worse.
Yeah. Actually, one thing I actually want to say about Brentford is right. I have them rock bottom.
It's like how much work can Tony do?
Yeah.
But see, even then, are they most okay? They're very, very efficient on the way they run the club, right?
Mm-hmm.
But efficiency in running the club and they weren't even that great in the championship last
No.
season. It was just Ivan Toney who played very well, and it's gonna be harder for him.
Like how many goals did he even score? He scored a lot. He scored a lot of goals.
Most ever.
Do you think he'll score more than 15?
No, I think he'll
I
score.
don't think he'll
He'll score
score.
more than 10 though.
I think the problem with Tony is he's going to end up exactly like what Mitrovic was for Fulham,
I think he'll be
where
Tammy
he scored a
Abraham.
load of goals in the Championship, and he gets in the Premier League and he's only hitting like what 9 or 10 or
I
something.
think he'll be more like Tommy Abraham. I think he'll be more like when Tommy Abraham played class for Villa, and then Chelsea played him for a little bit with Lampard, and did very well that season. But I think he got about 15. And then
I think the short answer is I don't think he'll score enough.
no,
No.
and I don't think
I don't think their squad's good enough either.
I think Watford. I know they always turn over their manager, but this time I think that it's gonna hurt them.
Well, it will hurt them. It always hurts them, really.
Yeah.
But there's no way. I don't know who the current manager is because I haven't even bothered.
They keep just fucking
It's like
It's
just
a revolving door.
Exactly. Yeah.
all the time.
But I just feel that this is more just kind of an inkling rather than kind of a like.
I think Southampton are the most interesting team.
Yeah, they are.
I also like Joe Pedro actually. I watched a bit of him last season. I thought he was really decent for.
They have so many strikers. They've got Joshua King. They've got
Troy
Damari
Deeney.
Gray, Troy Deeney,
Troy Deeney's not playing much next season.
Joe Pedro. And they have like a whole load more.
Ismaila
And
Sarr,
then
who's
Sarr plays out wide. Like if they're playing with a front three, like there's just so much guys up forward, and I don't think like any of them are phenomenal except for maybe Sarr. And maybe Joe Pedro could be a talent.
But even then, Sarr wasn't great in the Premier League. That's not role.
Yeah, he had perfect.
Except for the two goals.
He could have improved, but that's not a guarantee.
Except for the 2 goals against Liverpool.
Well, yeah, but Liverpool was extremely shit that day.
Yeah. I think they were.
But it's like
Were they one of 2 teams that only beat Liverpool last
the
season?
only team that beat us was City after we won the league.
Yeah.
I
know Arsenal beat them, didn't they?
No, we only lost 2 games that season in the league.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Arsenal close to being.
Yeah, but I think like this could possibly be like, and not even like they're just not even decent. They're just kind of bad.
Are we all saying it's Southampton's year?
No, I think they'll stay up.
I have them 18.
I think man, it's like something. They're a bit of a weird one because like they were scraping by even when they had Danny Ings scoring 20 goals. You know,
They're getting shitter and shitter.
They lost Vestergaard. They lost Ings. They're probably going to lose Ward-Prowse to us or
They
Tottenham.
unlikely.
And like in
But
the
even
past, at least you could say, "Oh, the Saints have like good youth players." So.
Do they?
But
They also lost
now you
Bertrand.
don't.
They're like
They've also lost Bertrand as well.
they lost. Yeah, Ryan Bertrand. Yeah, I forgot about that.
They're just awful.
Yeah,
They're
haven't
so
replaced-
fucked.
They have Walker's. Actually, Walker's Peters is decent.
He's fine, but it's not like Walker Peters is going to be good enough that like
They stay up.
yeah.
But
Like as good as right back, how important fullbacks are these days. It's not like a right back's going to be the guy who carries your team to promote, like to stay up. Like I mean,
What? How do you feel about
Adam Armstrong, they brought in.
Was he going to be a that championship player who doesn't?
He's only 24.
I
and
think
he scored 24 goals.
I think he's more. I think I'd lean more towards him being similar to,
I don't marry Gray or something.
no, Bamford, in terms of how he's gonna do. I think a lot of people will look at him and
Dwight
think,
Gale.
yeah,
sorry.
he scored a lot in the championship, but is he gonna cut in the Premier League? I think he'll probably be more like he's not gonna score like 20 goals, but I'd say solid.
I
Like
think he's
10,
more
15.
of a Dwight Gale.
Yeah. See, when you come up, from my experience coming to the championship, you kind of have that inkling of players who are going to play well and your other players who are going to play bad. You have your players who you're kind of mixed on. So when we came up, I knew Jack was going to be the best player, right? You knew it. I just knew it.
Well, I think everyone knew that, yeah.
But
The
I
blind man
wasn't
can see
sure that John McGinn would have had that in him to come up. When we got signed to Ollie Watkins, I knew he was going to be that player.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be that player.
You did say it.
Yeah.
And he said Matty Cash.
That's going to be. I think he could have had a better season than first last season, but
I thought he was good.
Yeah, but I think he gets top 6 times. I think the top 6 teams he was a bit.
Muck against.
Yeah.
I thought he was very
Lucas-
good against Liverpool in the 7-2.
Yeah, but every Aston Villa player was great. against
Yeah,
us.
that
Lucas-
was.
And again, Liverpool were pretty bad.
Yeah,
Lucas Moura absolutely had his way
Yeah.
against them when they played the first game, and then so did Phil Foden against Manchester City.
yeah.
So hopefully they'll improve this season, but we'll see.
But yeah, I just think that I mean, it might also just be biased because I personally don't want to see Aston Villa get relegated because I like Aston Villa. But like man, like they're doing him dirty over there
Yeah.
by selling like they're getting rid of the best players he has.
If they
And
lose Vestergaard as well,
like who did they sign to replace him?
what the fuck? Well, what do they even use? Like their midfield, I can't even name who they have in their midfield anymore.
Oh, no,
They've got
Ward-Prowse.
Romeu,
Yeah, Romeu was
Ward-Prowse.
Ward-Prowse. There was that young lad as well. What's his name? He was playing against Liverpool. I think he made his debut against Liverpool.
he played well, didn't he?
Yeah, he was alright. But there's not much that they have. Like, they're kind of light in every position.
It'd definitely be a struggle, and you know they could easily sit down. I mean, like I was saying, like they were down in relegation for a while when they had their good players there, like
Yeah.
when they had Ings and you know they had.
Shea Adams had a little bit of a pickup.
I mean, I guess it really all depends on how good of a season can Shea Adams have, and I
I'm
very
not-
much be leaning towards
Yeah.
not
If I was a bet
not having
man, I wouldn't put a bet on him to.
or Obafemi.
Yeah, I don't rate him.
There's just
Your
not.
backup options aren't
He's
great.
rumored to leave as well.
I think we're all in agreement though that
They're gonna struggle.
the bottom of the Premier League is pretty shite right now.
Yeah.
Like very shite.
I'm not gonna say they're any easy games, but they're definitely easier games.
I think
remember last year? This time last year we were saying, "Oh, there's so many hard games." This year we're actually the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, I think COVID has really hit those smaller teams.
It's
hard as well.
kind of like I think it's like the harder games got harder and the easier games got easier. I think that's the best way of putting it. Like your
Mm.
games against top 6, they're going to be really,
Really
hard,
hard,
because
yeah.
they all got load of players back and load of new players in.
Mm.
And those kind of crappier teams, it was like, well, instead of having to play like you know Fulham, who were a decent side, or who else went down, like West Brom, who were always like especially Liverpool know that
But
they
Chelsea,
were-
Chelsea,
they're-
Chelsea.
yeah,
Chelsea,
and,
Chelsea,
like, Chelsea and Liverpool are gonna be-
nightmares.
Yeah, Chelsea and
Yes,
Liverpool are going to
West
be
Brom.
fucking glad to see the back of them. But now you have like, you know, like Norwich and Brentford. You know, it's like they're not gonna, like West Brom have always been a dodgy team for Liverpool.
Mm.
So we see like Norwich coming back up, we think, oh, fucking happy days.
Happy days, yeah.
You know,
But I think Brentford, right, are the most overhyped team ever. This season,
hold
definitely.
on. I think if they went up the season that they should have, when they had Watkins and they had Ben Rama, I think they'd be a much
They'd
scarier
be much
team.
better, yeah.
They'd be a much scarier team. But the fact that they didn't make it, they also used, didn't they?
If they had
Who
Ollie
did they lose
Watkins,
to?
Ivan
No, who did they lose in the
Toney,
playoffs?
Yeah, Fulham.
Fulham. If they go up instead of Fulham, then I think they'd probably still be in the Premier League right now,
oh,
and they'd be a much
100%.
scarier team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But because they're not,
They would have made a couple of signings as well on top of.
yeah, and they probably wouldn't have lost Watkins and they wouldn't have lost Ben Rama.
yeah.
So-
but now they look just.
Yeah, it's just
They don't look.
they're
It's
nowhere near the team they were like even 2 years ago.
Yeah. I feel like team like Brentford is just twerking for the likes. The players are just going to play well to twerk for the likes of Aston Villa and West Ham.
Is Pereira still at West Brom?
No, he went to like some Saudi Arabian club.
That's crazy.
That's such a
actually
shame.
crazy.
Because
What a waste.
no team came in for him because Aston Villa signed Bundy.
Arsenal should have just signed him.
He would have been a great signing for Arsenal.
Arsenal should.
He would have been exactly what they needed.
And I think he was gone for the money, really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's a waste. Like, this is a young player of this quality only going to Saudi Arabia for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like 30 something.
Yeah, it's just what a
pass-
waste.
Like
Yeah.
Alderweireld, you can kind of understand.
Like that's
He's
a
passing.
waste.
He's already done what he needs to do.
Too,
But
yeah.
like who else? Like there's a few players at Fulham. I'm surprised are still there.
Zambo, right? Zambo. I don't know.
Samo Anguissa.
Is he any,
He was pretty good.
The Corver Reed
Reed,
was
yeah.
pretty decent.
What's his name? Harrison Reed in the midfield was alright.
Like
I
they've
thought
some
Lupton
players.
was okay.
Lookman
They
was
looked
quality.
good, yeah.
Was he not out? Was he on loan there though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think Leipzig
I think
would
Palace
be happy to hold on to him
I think
after.
Palace want him though.
That wouldn't be a
I
bad
think he
signing.
might want to come back. I think he might want to come back to England.
It seems like he's a guy who really likes playing football in England. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's about it. Do we want to say who we think will be top goal scorer?
Yeah.
Oh, there's all. There's always your usual suspects though, isn't there? About who it could be.
Yeah.
Like, it could be Harry Kane. It could be Salah. It could be
Danny Ings.
Lukaku.
without Grealish now. Lukaku is probably a good shout actually.
I think I'm gonna be biased here, and I'll say Salah. Even though I think Liverpool won't be anywhere near what they were 2 years ago, I still think you can
I think, but
you can kind of count
like
on
Salah
Salah.
is just that good.
Yeah, you can just count on him,
I'll go Harry Kane no matter what team he's at.
even if he's in.
If he's in Man City, I
How many
What
more?
if he's playing
Hold
in
on,
Paris?
hold on. How many?
What if he's playing in Paris?
Hold on. How many more goals do you think Harry Kane would score at City than he would have Tottenham?
a lot more. Because I think they'll dominate the ball more than won't they?
But also Tottenham play a lot more the ball through him.
I think he'd play. I think he'd score about 5 more. I think he'd hit 30. I think it would be the first time he'd hit 30.
I mean, I think if it's based off the assumption that Harry Kane is currently still at Tottenham and come Saturday he will still be at Tottenham, I'll pick Salah.
Yeah. All right. What about player of the year? It took me ages to think about this. I'll tell you what I thought,
Right.
Go on.
and I still like. There's no way I got into the bookies and put a bet on this, but I'd say Kante,
Okay.
because I just think
I mean, I
Kante.
think
There's something in the air where everyone just seems to really hype Kante right now.
I don't think you're far off. I think Kante's going to be the guy, right? When they announce who actually won it, everyone's going to be like, "Fucking Kante should have won that."
Yeah.
You know, that's what it's gonna be like. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Kante was better than him," or "This guy was better." Like, as opposed, I don't think Kante won't win it, but he'll be the guy that some people say should have won it.
Kante would get it if Chelsea won the Premier League. If Chelsea won the Premier League, Kante would get it.
No, 100%. If they won the Premier League, they'd give it to Lukaku
Because he's the new
big
signing,
marquee
yeah.
signing. Oh, it had to be him,
I think
right?
it's going to be Kai Havertz.
That's an interesting
Player of
shout.
the season.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very
Just
interesting.
I thought I wasn't really thinking about it, but I think Kai Havertz.
Even after missing the penalty last night in the Super
Yeah, a
Cup
bit disappointing.
final,
I think,
got a good assist though.
yeah, he's the guy. I think.
Wow.
I mean, I was.
hold on.
Actually.
I mean, hold on. You know Ziyech has been better than him at Chelsea somewhere, right?
It's a big claim.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
agree with
kinda-
that one.
I mean, if Ziyech had played at the same amount of time that Kai Havertz did,
There's a reason why
Havertz-
Kai Havertz played more.
I think
Yeah,
it's
is
just
it?
because there's more hope that Kai Havertz would be something else. I think Mason Mount's better right now.
but like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ziyech has done about more in their pre-season.
Who would you have?
Player of the season?
Yeah.
I'll cop out. I'll decide De Bruyne.
Yeah.
I
It's a
mean,
safe bet.
I know it's just a bit of a fuck at this guy, fuck. Yeah, but like,
But it's the
there's
most,
a reason for it though.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
He's
reason why
fucking
he is probably the
insane.
best player in the Premier League. That's
He's
why.
unreal.
And I don't see any reason unless a season-ending injury or something like that, or like a bit of injury prone, like kind of those few injury problems that he's had.
Yeah.
I think unless anything like that happens, there's no real reason why he wouldn't, because he's just that good.
Who would you have as a young player?
Young player of the year.
I think it's Foden. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's Foden.
What's the limit on it again?
I
Because
think
didn't
it's
didn't
23.
Sterling win it one time?
Yeah, I think it's 23.
Yeah, 23. You know what? I'm gonna take a bit of a punt here. I'll say Jack Harrison.
Is he like 24 now?
Is he? Yeah? I'm pretty sure. I don't think he is.
I don't think he's as young as you think he is.
I know he looks pretty young.
Yeah, so is Marvis Nakamba.
Oh, look it up there. I'm pretty sure he's not. He's in the NFL.
I don't think Jack Hart. I think it's Foden. I think it's pretty clear that he'll win it again. It's him
He's
or
24.
He's 24.
He's
Is he?
going on 25 in November.
How's
Okay, never mind then.
what about Mason Mount? He's hitting 23 now, is he?
It's kind of hard to tell, isn't it?
I think it would just be Foden.
A lot of them are kind of like in around that age, though, aren't they?
I'll say a young player. I have a person kind of the biased name in Carney Chukwuemeka, but I don't think he'll play as much as I don't think he'll play as much as I hope he does. I'll say Michael Olise. I think he'll have a really good season.
That's an interesting. I don't think it. I think it's harder for a young player in
Or
one of the bottom half teams, though,
I
to
think
get that.
Mason Greenwood, maybe. He's still young.
I think
Yeah.
if Eze wasn't injured until January, he'd be a good shout.
But or maybe, well, Phil Foden's just Phil Foden. He's going to have a better season next season as well.
Yeah, but I think like Eze is
Saka? Saka's still only 19.
I was thinking Saka
Yeah.
as well, but
maybe Martinelli.
I-
Martinelli, if he's
I think what's going against those guys though is Arsenal won't do well.
I think if Arsenal were a good side, those two would be good shouts.
Yeah, I think if they had better guys around them.
Or if Aubameyang could actually get off his arse and actually put the ball in the fucking net for one. Yeah, I think I'll just go Phil Foden, I guess.
I have to say Saka just for now. I have Arsenal pretty high.
Yeah, you
So,
Yeah, much higher than you should. But
hopefully.
do.
Hopefully.
well, Golden Glove.
Martinez.
I think it's such a
I think Anderson, really.
I think it's such a stupid thing.
What?
Golden Glove. It's so reliant on your defense in front of you.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think it would just go to Ederson again
Yeah.
because I just think City will just.
Dominate, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Alisson. I think it's going to a Brazilian. I think it's fair to say
That's a
it's
pretty good
going to
bet.
a Brazilian.
Who,
I mean,
or South American.
who do you think will be the most improved player this season, though?
I think the player, or how about shocker?
What's your quantifier for that? Is it like they've been kind of only decent for a while and then they kind of come back, or is it coming off they didn't have a great
John
season and then
Stones.
coming back,
Yeah, sort of like that. A guy who would just break out and just be.
or a guy who just wasn't good the last few seasons then?
Wait, are you saying John Stones for this now?
No, as in John
Oh yeah,
Stones
from
this
last season. Yeah.
Who else had a great breakout last season? Oh, breakout kind of a wow season.
I think I thought Mason Mount had that kind of season, or Hoiberg. A lot of people were saying.
Højbjerg had a good breakout season, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of decent at Southampton, but I think everyone was kind of surprised when Tottenham signed him, and then he came out that season and it's like, oh, this is why Tottenham signed him.
I think.
El Ghazi had a shot. Like he got there, but I don't think it's going to be consistent.
I think everyone's going to be shocked. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a striker from one of the smaller teams.
Danny Ings,
It's pretty hard to improve on what he's been doing the last few seasons and things.
Watkins,
I'm kind of thinking Watkins.
Moise Keane.
No,
Uh,
he did actually play.
Ivan Toney.
Yeah.
Pedro.
I think this season's a lot harder to predict for players. I feel like there was more people just on the cusp
I
of
think there's
doing
a-
something.
I think
I
there's-
think everyone said oh, Calvert-Lewin's going to kick off this season, and then he did.
And then he didn't.
Yeah, and then he
Did
did. But I think everyone knew there was so many in these players who were just on the edge of being hitting their a great
I think there was
stage,
a lot of players who just didn't have a good season last season. Not even they just weren't great.
There was a lot of disappointing players. Mitrovic really disappointing.
Mitrovic wasn't great.
But it's just because they didn't even play him then. He
Yeah,
was a
but
star, and then they just kicked him out.
I heard a lot of Fulham fans saying that the reason why Mitrovic did so bad is because Scott Parker style play didn't suit him.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
But that seems a bit of a cop out, doesn't it?
I don't know. That's what they're saying.
I mean, did you not have a full year and a half before?
There was a month where he was getting game time. I only know that because I had him in my fantasy, just hoping that he'd kick off.
We did well at the start.
He did a decent.
Because I remember I had
He
him at
didn't
the
get a
start,
goal. He didn't
He
score.
got 2 goals, I think, in the first 4 weeks.
and then you take him out because he
Did-
didn't play. He
Didn't
do
get
anything.
any for us. Didn't get. Oh, he did get a goal against us, but we still know 3-1.
Anyway, do you want to call it there?
Yeah.
Alright.